Today's lecture, we will discuss about structuring the message. You are required to write documents. You could write a short document or a long document. Depends on what task you have been assigned to do. So if you got to do a short document, what are the components of it? What about if you have to do a longer document? What are the components? How to organize things together? This is what we're going to study in this chapter. So here we talk about ABC. A stands for abstract, B for body, C for conclusion. Any document includes these three parts. And what are the expectations of each of these parts? We will discuss today. And number two, when you write a document, not everything is from you. You refer some resources, maybe a website, maybe an article, maybe a magazine, maybe something else, right? You refer maybe a video on YouTube, for example. So you will refer different sources to prepare your document. So when you refer to somebody, you should provide a reference for that document. You should cite it. You should say, okay, I'm referring this from this person. This is important. So we will study through, we will see examples of how to do referencing in today's class. Well, when I'm going to get something from somebody, should I copy paste as it is? Should I rephrase it? Should I summarize it? These are the things we are going to study as well. Okay. So we will concentrate on point number 1 and point number 2 in today's lecture. Right. At the end of this lecture, you should be able to know how to write, how to structure your writing material. Let's talk about ABC. If you are writing a short document normally is like 1 or 2 pages long. Short. And in this short document, you divide it into 3 parts. You have an introduction, you have a body, you have a conclusion. In the body, you have multiple paragraphs. You have more than one paragraph. So when you write multiple paragraphs, each paragraph concentrates on one single area or one single idea. So you have multiple ideas. For example, if you are going to talk about advantages and disadvantages of a product, right? Shortcomings of a product or advantages. So you separate them. You keep one paragraph. You write one paragraph for advantages, and you write another paragraph for disadvantages, for example, or maybe something else. So you separate your ideas into different paragraphs. This is what you call a short document. What about writing a long document? Long documents, normally you have like 5 pages, maybe more, maybe 10, maybe more. When you write such documents, for example, if you are writing your report, which is normally a long document, right? In this long document, you have an abstract, or it's also called executive summary, followed by a body, followed by a conclusion. The body is organized into headers. You divide the body into many sections. You have headers, you have subheaders. Inside subheading, you have paragraphs, and you relate them. So when you have a subheading, the paragraphs inside that subheading should be related to the subheader. There should be some link. So you have to organize them, the body, into headers. This is the idea when you do a long document. Okay, what is expected in an abstract section of the document? Remember, abstract is very important. Many times we write this abstract only after completing the other parts of your document. We write it at the last. But for the reader, they read this first. When someone reads your document, he or she reads the abstract first. By looking at the abstract, they will make a decision whether to read any further or stop here. So they will read the document, they will start with the abstract and make a decision. So your abstract should be clear, precise, straight to the point, and it should provide what is the purpose of your work. What is the purpose? Why are you writing this document for me? Why should I read it? What are the important points that will make me help me to make some decisions. For example, if you are going to write about your product, I am a customer, okay? I want to purchase your product. You have to tell me what are the important points in this product, important salient things, that will attract me, so I can go for this product. If the abstract itself is not clear, I will just throw this product away. I will not even bother to think about it. Also in the abstract, sometimes you write what is available below, what is written in this document, a summary, kind of a list or a description. So abstract can be called as an executive summary, can be called as a summary, can be called as an overview. Also, it's called as an abstract, as you all know. What about the body? Body should contain information that is understandable by different kinds of readers. So meaning, when you segregate your body into different headings, there should be background, okay, some kind of information that will make the reader follow the material easier. So that is the background. Then you should have information about if you have done some experiment. What is the experiment? Where was it performed? How did you perform? What are your conclusions? What are your inferences? What do you recommend for people? So these things should be there. There should be some supporting information in the body. And please note, this is where we make mistakes. When you write a body, segregate or separate the fact from your opinion. Don't mix them. Don't write the fact and your opinion together as if your opinion is a fact, because if somebody might disagree with your opinion, the reader might disagree, might agree. So segregate, separate the fact with the opinion separately. Keep them separate. Also, follow some format. Like, if you're using Microsoft Word or any other tool for this matter, organize them in some format that is easy to follow. Yeah, there should be heading in this font, this size, this color, whatever. It is easy to follow. I know this is the main topic, this is the subtopic, this is the subtopic, and I should be able to know the structure of your writing. So write it appropriately. The last but an important point is also to provide some figures, some graph, some tables to make things more clear. What about the conclusion? Some would think, look, we are discussing the structure. Bukhari said, write in abstract the main points. In the body also we write the main points. In the conclusion also we write the main points. Are you just repeating? Is it good if you repeat? By the way, in a document, it is expected that there are some repetitions. It is expected. Okay? Because not everybody is going to read from the starting point till the end point. So, conclusion. Again, conclusion is read by quite a good number of people. You write the salient point, the important points. You bring back the attention of the reader to these points here. Also, please indicate what is the next step. Like, feel free to contact me for further details, right? Provide some email, some contact details. So these things should be there. So this should create a relationship between the reader and the writer. Don't keep it in isolation. Just finish it off and close the door. No. Normally, when we write a research article, what we do, we write in the conclusion some future work, what is possible in the future, right? Also, in the conclusion, you could write it as a summary, as a paragraph. Some people prefer it to be in points, like, I do this. These are the main points of this. Okay, it depends. So these are the common things you need to understand about the different structure of a document. A, B, C. Remember A, B, C. Abstract, body, conclusion. Okay, just remember these 3 points here. Now we are going to discuss about another topic which is important. When you write a document, yes, you refer to somebody else's document. You refer to some article from the internet. Some people think, okay, let me not provide the reference so that the people don't know I copy from somewhere. No. Copying from somebody will return you plagiarism. Plagiarism or plagiarized document means it is illegal. It is not allowed. If you copy from somebody, what should I do? you could use three approaches. Approach number one, quotation, meaning exact copy from somebody. Approach number two, paraphrasing, you are rewriting it in words. Okay. Number three, summarize. You take somebody's document, you summarize. He has written one page, you write it in 4 or 5 lines, for example. You summarize his document in your document. So there are three approaches. In all the three approaches, you should provide a reference. Please note, by providing reference, you are telling the reader or you are informing the reader, look, I know what already exists. You want the reader to know that you know what is existing already. Let the reader know you know what is already there, and you have enhanced it, and you are giving a better solution. Okay, so let's talk about all these three types now. Quoting or quotations. When you write somebody's document from somebody, you're going to copy paste exactly. Why you should copy exactly? Maybe it is a definition, maybe it is something to be quoted by somebody. Somebody said this, right? So you quote, you write them inside quotations, double quote. You write them in double quote, right? You should write it like this. What about paraphrasing? You read somebody's document, you write it in your words, in your own words. Okay. So you could ask me, look, I paraphrase it. Why should I cite somebody? Why should I refer to somebody? Yes, you paraphrase it, you summarize it, but it is not your idea. The idea belongs to the owner, the original author, right? So you need to refer to the author himself or herself, right? So in the case of summarizing, you take the document, you read it, you summarize it, you reduce it. Your write-up is much shorter than the original document. Okay? These are three approaches. So when we want to do paraphrasing or even summarizing, sometimes we make this mistake. We keep the document in front of you, the original document. We keep it in front of you. You read it line by line. And then you write it in your own words. The problem is when you have something in front of you and you are going to write in your own words, you will be influenced by the original document. So what are the words that exist there? You will write it here. You will tend to copy paste a good amount of the information in the original document. So then when you check, when you validate your write-up using plagiarism tools or plagiarism software, it will say, sorry, you copied from somebody. It will identify. There are tools, there are plenty of tools which are used for this purpose. One of them is called Turnitin. Okay. This is a tool. You see, it is checking for plagiarism. There is also iThunticate. Right? There is another tool. This is plagiarism detection software. The document here, it will come back and say, look, this guy has copied from some resource. That's it. Okay. So you should make sure you are not copying from somebody. You might ask me, well, what is the percentage of copying that is allowed, or percentage of overlap that is allowed? Normally allow some journals, articles, they allow 15 to 20%. Less than 10 is better always. Okay. It's good to have very low similarity. So it will actually check whether you have 3 consecutive words or 4 consecutive words which match with the original document, match with many other documents on the internet. So how to solve this problem? Read some material, okay, observe the whole material in your mind, keep the material away, keep the original material away, and write in your own words. By doing this, you tend not to copy from somebody. Okay, you will use your words. Yes, you will make mistakes. I understand. You make mistakes in your writing. There might be spelling mistakes. There might be grammatical mistakes. There might be logical mistakes. It's fine. It's fine. But still, it's your own words, not somebody else's words. You are not paraphrasing it. Or sorry, you are not plagiarizing somebody's document. So please make sure you keep original away from you after you got the idea. Write it in your own and provide appropriate citation. Refer it. Don't leave it. Okay. Sometimes you have problem with paraphrasing. Maybe the document is a little bit complicated, little bit technical, maybe not up to the level as you are at that point of time. Sure, you can develop the skills. That is different. So if you have this problem at any point of time, what do? Read the main document, take notes from that document. Take notes. And based on your notes, you can write your own document. Okay. So the notes will help you organize your points, to not to forget some of the important points, and you can make the flow, you can make the concepts clear. So these are things you need to understand. So simple, look away from the source when you write, and you could take notes, right? And sometimes you could even keep the notes away and write it in your own words. Let's take some examples which are given in the book. Here is an example. I'm going to read the example for you. Please keep note. What are the important points you need to keep it? You need to maintain writing. So this is the original source coming from a document here, 1999. Right? In order to communicate effectively with other people, one must have a reasonably accurate idea of what they do and do not know. That is pertinent to the communication. Pertinent here means relevant. Relationship, relevant. Treating people as though they have knowledge that they do not have can result in miscommunication and perhaps embarrassment. On the other hand, a fundamental rule of conversation, at least according to Grecian view, is that one generally does not convey to others information that one can assume they already have. So what is the whole idea? I'm talking to you. When I talk to you, I should talk to you under the conditions, what you know, what you don't know. If I speak to you with things which you know already, it will be boring for you. If I speak to you with things which you don't know, and I keep talking something out of sync with you, then you will feel embarrassed, or maybe miscommunication will happen. So this is the content of this message. So paraphrase it. You could say Nickerson. Here there is no name Nickerson because we wrote Nickerson here, indicating this is somebody's writing, somebody's words, not mine. So I'm saying Nickerson suggests that effective communication depends on a generally accurate knowledge of what the audience knows. So what the audience know will make me decide what to communicate. If a speaker assumes too much knowledge about the subject, the audience will either misunderstand or be bewildered. However, assuming too little knowledge among those in the audience may cause them to feel patronized. So again, here you see the points are there. Points are there. It is rephrased or paraphrased. And you could see also that number of words is reduced. If you see the other example here, same thing is rephrased again. Nickerson, it is 1999, it was written in 1999, argues that clear communication hinges upon what an audience does and does not know. It is crucial to assume the audience has neither too much or too little knowledge of the subject, or the communication may be inhibited by either confusion or offense. So you could write it like this, or in your own words, as long as you don't copy this guy. This is called paraphrasing. Right? So when you want to summarize, okay, I'll summarize something. I have a report. I've already read the report. I'm going to summarize somebody else's report. How to do that? Read the whole report. Okay. When you read the report, indicate what are the important points in that report. Important words or phrases. Maybe you could circle them, you could note them. Okay. Then identify what is the topic sentence. What do you mean by topic sentence? Normally, topic sentence is the first sentence or the document. Sometimes it is not the first sentence. It is the sentence that gives you the main idea. Okay, main idea of that word. And when you read the document, you could also remove those which are not necessary for you. Just cross out. Okay, just say, okay, this is not needed. I don't need to write about this. So look for important ones. Look for which are not necessary. Okay. When you summarize, try to avoid any of your opinion. Don't mix somebody's document with your own opinion. Don't mix them, but just don't make people confused with your own right. So don't mix anything. Then you write the summary in your own. After you write the summary, it is good for you to read it loudly, and check whether there are any mistakes. Normally, you write once, you leave it for a day, next day you check it. You will figure out lots of mistakes. If you check it at the same time, maybe you will not find mistakes. Here is an example of summarization. Okay, how to summarize a document. Height connotes status in many parts of the world. Executive officers are usually on the top floors, underlings work below. Even being tall can help a person succeed. Studies have shown that employers are more willing to hire men over 6 feet tall than shorter men with the same credentials. Studies of real-world executives and graduates have shown that taller men make more money. In one study, every extra inch of height brought in an extra $1,300 a year. But being too big can be a disadvantage. A tall, brawny football player complained that people found him intimidating off the field and assumed he had the brains of a Twinkie. This is a document written in 2003. You are going to summarize. How to summarize? First, look for what is the topic sentence of it. What are the main points they are discussing? That's all. What are the main points? They are talking about a taller person, shorter person, comparing them. So somebody can get a good job, easier for the taller person, can earn more. Okay, someone who is big, disadvantage. So these are the points. So look and write the main points here. Right? Look for what is that they are discussing. They are mainly talking about the status of people who are tall in this world. What is the other points? The main points: all people can succeed, executive officers at the top of the building, all people can earn little more money, and then too big can be a disadvantage. Okay, these are the points. Now write the summary in your own words. So look at this example here. Low height may connote slowness from people. In the business world, it is almost universally associated with success. For example, taller men are more likely to be hired and to have greater salaries. Further, those in top positions within a company are more likely to work on the top floors of office buildings. So you will see the main points are already there. In the building top, the salary, their success, and talking about others, say, tall, maybe slowness. So you could see whatever you find it here, it's here in a summarized fashion. It's summary. So when you quote something, please make sure you write them under quotation marks, double quote. You should write exactly as in the original document. In case I'm going to quote somebody, but I found there is some mistake in their document, what should I do? If there is a mistake, I could use a square bracket inside this quote and indicate the action there. Okay, square bracket. I could do that. This is also allowed. Before I go to this one, I want to tell you something. Well, I'm going to write a document. If my document is all about text from somebody else, everything from somebody else, is that good? Not really good. It's not interesting because I'm going to use many things from somebody. So what is my work in my report, or what is my contribution? So make sure you have your contribution instead of just filling your whole report with somebody else. So now let us discuss about references and citation. By the way, there are many styles of writing references. Here are some styles given to you: MLA, APA, IEEE, and so on. What is this style here? Style, I will show you here, and then I will show you an example which will make things easy for you. If you talk about IEEE style, you write the references in numbering format, number 1, number 3, and so on. And they are written like this, in square bracket inside the text. You don't write the author name, it is all numbers. So if in the text I reorder the number, let's say the first reference is changed now, automatically I should change the order of my reference as well. Are you following? So look, if I change the order in the text, the reference should also change. So let me switch back to you to something and then come back here. Maybe it's good like this. Here is a Microsoft Word file. Okay. So look at this, what I'm going to do now, right? I'm going to write something. Right? Authors reported about the use of sensor networks in for detecting air pollution. Sensor networks have been used in the past for various Look, the text might be wrong. I don't bother about the text right now. Okay. So now I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to add here. So here I'm selecting the style. Please watch out. I'm selecting the style here. So the IEEE is selected. We have seen IEEE style, right? Let's start IEEE. Now I'm saying air pollution. It is bringing me something. I will select it. I will click this. Okay. I'll come back down here. Look at this. And I'm clicking here. Look what's happening now. Right? It has given to me all the details. Let's assume I'm going to add a second reference here. Go back here. So let's say sensor networks. Right, let me take this. Automatically it is ready here. It's filled up for me. So now if I go and select this line, remember, please note number 1, number 2. I'm going to, number 1 is Abdul Wahab, number 2 is Bobrima. Okay. I'm going to take the number 2, put it as number 1. Really in IEEE, this should be number 1, this should be number 2. If I have to change 1 and 2 manually, I need to change this. It becomes difficult. Look at this. And automatic. Right? Let me go back here. Let's say you want to submit to somebody who says, I don't want in IEEE format. I want it in Chicago Manual of Style. Okay, Chicago. Like this. Done. It's changed already. Okay. Let's say somebody else says, no, I want someone else. Okay, Elsevier format. Done. So the formatting, the styling is done by the tool easier. Now you must ask me, doctor, what is this? How did you do this? You have Microsoft Word, but in your Microsoft Word, you don't have this. This is called Zotero. Okay, it's called Zotero. By the way, there are tools, lots of tools like Zotero. This is one of the one I'm showing you here is this one, Zotero. You have Mendeley, you have EndNote, you find plenty of. Okay, there are plenty such reference management tools available. Now the question is what is this going to do for you? But when you want to use this tool, I have installed this software with me. Then I go to the browser, I search for an article. Let's say I'm going to search something. This place where I will search for a. Is it necessary I should search here? I can search any. So let's say I'm going to type sensor. I'm getting many articles and I will see the abstract. This is useful for me. Let's assume. So I can select this guy. It will open this page. Look here, I click this. I have an option called Zotero Connector. Okay, Zotero Connector. And look at this. Here is my Zotero. Okay, and I can select any subfolder or the main one. For example, if I'm going to click this guy and click Zotero Connector, it will add information about this document in my Zotero. Okay, now if I go back to my Word and type structural health monitoring reported, and I continue writing here. Okay, let's assume I'm going to put the reference here. I'm going to write the reference here. Structural health monitoring. Yes, this is the same reference I have just now added. You see, click, done. I have things here. So what did it do? I have added many things here. You see, it gave me the journal name, it gave me the title, it also gave me the authors. Okay, It also gave me the page number or the month it was published. All these are automatically done for me. So to do this, let's say, can I do a website? Yes, you could add a website, you could add a magazine, you could add an article, anything you want could be done. Okay, it could all be added to your Zotero and referenced in your Word, for example. So you need a plugin for Word. That is one thing you need. Number two, you need an extension for the Chrome browser. Number three, you need the software. So if you go and check for Zotero, you will find you can download few things now. You need to download. And if I click, that is some, I think you will be seeing now. Just give me a couple of minutes. It's getting back. Yeah, should be okay now. Right. So can you see my screen now? Yes, alhamdulillah. So I have shown you some of these things right now. Okay. So what is the next deal? What is the next step you got to understand here? Right. Understand, this is the citation format. You have seen this now. IEEE, you have the text citation. You have numbers. We have seen this already. Okay. So you could write them as 1, 2, 3, 1, comma, 2, comma, like this or like this. Both are okay, but this is preferred. If you have a sequence, you could write like this also. By the way, these things are automatically done by the tools we have discussed, like Zotero, like these tools. So here are many such tools. Okay, you could use them, you could refer to them, and then you will know how to use them. Here, and for this, I have created a YouTube video where I have explained to you about reference management tool. So this is the reference management tool video. So you could refer to it, you could listen to it. This will tell you how to do it. Okay, I will share this link in our chat box and the Blackboard. So please refer to it if you have not seen it before. Let's go back to our slides now. Right, this ends our lecture on this topic. Okay, this is the coverage of this topic. I want to show you something extra. If you have questions, I will answer. Meanwhile, I'm going to open up something for you and we will discuss that as well. Any questions for me, gentlemen? So basically, when you write a document, please make sure the document contains different sections, A, B, C. Okay? It has these sections, abstract, body, and conclusion, and organize them appropriately. Okay? So the structuring is very important. Number two, I provide suitable references. So in this article here, this is a book written by Professor Omar Siraj Abu Rizaiza from AU, and it is by the title How to Write Scientific Articles. I'm going to show you some examples here just for you to understand how to write something. Okay? So look at this example. Let's start with this example. The daily accumulation of waste materials at many agricultural sites and industrial sites is problematic. Bin trash, for example, is a waste product from cotton processing that has traditionally been burned. It consists of the stems, leaves, burrs, and broken fibers that are left after cotton has passed through a gin. Now, however, burning is prohibited in many areas, and gin thrash disposal poses a significant problem to the cotton industry. In areas where trash burning is still allowed, resulting smoke volumes or air pollution sources. What is the problem here? If you read this document, you got to understand a lot of make them close. Number, let's say if you're writing an article in an environment, this is about environment. As you can see, the journal is environment. People know this. This is very, you don't need to write. Okay, you don't need to mention this. And when you say something is significant problem, is it your or is it somebody else? Do you think significant problem? Maybe I disagree with you. It is possible people might disagree, so you need to rephrase. Say the second part of this. This is actually from journal, so they write like this. Composting may be used to alleviate again trash disposal problem. It can reduce waste quantities and create byproducts. However, supposing successful composting requires a higher nitrogen content than bin trash alone can contribute. So why you want to say requires, contribute? You could say simply replace them. These are weak verbs here, weak verbs. Okay, replace them. Chicken manure, also abundant in agriculture areas, is one possible nitrogen source that can be combined with gin trash to raise the nitrogen content. So here I understand you want to indicate that you want to increase the nitrogen content, fine. But if you say one possible, what are the other possibilities? Why did you choose this guy compared to others? These are questions people might ask you. So if you see, this is the original document and revised version, and here is the revised version. Gin trash is a waste product from cotton processing. It consists of this that are left after again. But now burning is prohibited in many areas. Industry needs more methods of disposal. So you see, burning is meant one time and it is written in a single sentence. Okay, so you need to learn how to structure your writing. This comes by practice. So here is another following up. One method is composing, which makes a useful product from the waste material. However, gin trash alone does not contain enough nitrogen. So here he says that doesn't have enough nitrogen, so I need to add extra nitrogen. So we say extra nitrogen can be obtained from this. Here he does not say that this is one source, one possible source. It's not written this. Number two, they also did not say what is the percentage of nitrogen I needed. Okay, I didn't mention this. Right? Author does not say what proportion is converted to a compose as well. So when you compose, how much becomes composed? Okay, that is also not mentioned here. Let me go on and give you some other example. Look at this example. I'm choosing examples which are slightly easier for us to follow. Okay? Here it's an article about a detailed study of Taif water resources. Okay? Talking about resources, availability of water in Taif. A few more tests were sufficient to give a satisfactory agreement between the various information available on rainfall, runoff, water consumption in Wadi Waj catchment areas by simply assuming that the annual runoff is in reality 25% than that evaluated by this. That is, that the re-evaluation carried out by this on this runoff go in the direction. Nevertheless, MAW's approach to resetting of the Wadi Liya discharge data remains confined to interpretation of only high